Yo, what's up? Today I'm going to talk about going through life with an anxious attachment style and how that really impacted me and how I'm learning to heal from it. To start off, what is an attachment style in the first place? An attachment style is basically how you attach yourself to certain people. It can be people, events, situations, but mostly it's when you attach yourself to a person. So in this case, it's an anxious attachment style. So how it's formed is basically when you're young and you have parents or you have people around you, when you have caregivers that essentially have this sense of unpredictability about them, so you're not really able to know what they're gonna do each minute. So this time they may be smiling with you, the next second they're like a bit serious. And it's something which really torments you when you're a bit older, because now you're in your life, but now you're an adult and you've got to figure stuff on your own. But the challenge is that when you're building relationships with people, your mind is essentially preoccupied with the thoughts of anxiety every single second of whether that person will leave you or why this person is not reciprocating the same energy that you are giving to them. And it can really mess up your head when you're just trying to have a normal conversation or a normal connection with a certain person. And especially in this space of online, it's not really talked about much from a man's perspective, and it's always focused on from like a woman's perspective. And it's a good thing to bring some light to topics which are not really talked about much. So for me, for the past 1 or 2 years that have been the most crucial years of my life, where I've been able to identify this and I've been able to work on it actively. So in this video, I'm just going to share with you a couple of things that worked for me, and hopefully by the end of this video, they will help you understand yourself more and at the same time help you heal from what you are going through. So the first thing which I really want you to know is the reason I'm talking to you about this is because mainly I've been learning about this for the past 1 or 2 years because of certain experiences I've had, and they've just shed some light upon the stuff which I have within myself. But the first thing I want you to know is that there's a quote from Seneca which says, "We suffer more in our imagination than in reality." And that is 100% true when it comes to anxiety, because you may be able to relate to this. When you feel anxious, it's not even about what's going on outside, it's what your mind is projecting on what is going on. There may be situations or things or people that make you anxious, that make you feel anxious, but you don't really talk about that stuff, do you? You keep it within yourself. But what I've realized in my own journey, and which I want to share with you today, is where you suffer the most is in your head. Most of the time when you're going through life, it's not really about going through life and being hurt by these people and those people. It's mainly about being hurt by what you are projecting outside. Because of your experiences in the past, you believe that these people or this person will do the same thing to you that that person did in the past, or how that situation ended up in the past will be how this situation will end. What I'm trying to show to you here, every situation is different, and every single situation is trying to show you something different, and it's trying to make you learn a new lesson. So when you're going through situations that make you feel anxious, make sure you actually, be out there. Make sure you communicate that stuff to the other person you're with, and make sure you're not suffering more in your head than in reality, because the suffering in your head can actually torment you. When you're thinking about stuff which makes you anxious, guess what happens? Guess what happened to me? I couldn't focus on my homework. I couldn't focus on the gym. I used to go to the gym, and when let's say you go to the gym, you progressively overload, so you use a higher weight each time. When I used to go with anxious thoughts, guess what? I couldn't lift the weight up because my head was all in this zone of, man, you can't. And the mindset in me was, what if this person does this and this person does this? And I couldn't lift the weight that I wanted to. And that actually crushed my confidence. So I'm not saying my confidence was, rooted in me lifting the weight, but still, it kind of crushes your confidence from the inside, but you don't really have the balls to go out and tell people that. Now, the second and the most important thing, so make sure you actually listen to what I'm saying, is self-worth. And self-worth is different than confidence. So self-worth is essentially your intrinsic value, your value before your material possessions, your value before everything you see on the outside, your face, everything else. Self-worth is basically how you value yourself internally. And how you value yourself internally is going to bring about situations, things, and events to you which show you how much you value yourself on the inside. So essentially, if you value yourself in a higher regard, the things on the outside will be of higher regard. If you don't value yourself, the things around you will point out to you that you do not value yourself by putting you in scenarios that show you that you do not value yourself. So for example, if you hang around a person who doesn't really care about you, but you stick to that person anyways because they're giving you the bare minimum and you want to stay because it's the best you can do. So essentially, when you're young, your self-worth is still being like built. So when you're being bullied, or when you're being pushed around, or when you're not being treated by your parents in the right way, your self-worth gets diminished to the point where you're not even able to respect yourself. And when you're not able to respect yourself, you put yourself in situations which other people do not respect you. And that shows you that you do not respect yourself. Because why would you stay in a situation where a person is clearly not respecting you, but you still stay there? And I get it, this can be a struggle, but you need to realize that in order to attract higher quality people, in order to be with people that actually show you that you matter, you've got to increase the value within yourself that you place within yourself in your own head first. So with that being said, I hope this video helps you or guided you in the right direction. My job in this video is not to criticize you or hurt you in any way. My job is just to tell you the truth, what I believe in, and from there you make your decision on what you want to do. So with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.